What's up, guys? YouTube video. We're doing a technical analysis on my boy Joe Salazar. Joe has the program, meaning he gets free technical analysis whenever he wants. And I thought I would start posting these on YouTube. So let's check it out. This should be a pretty short video because I don't like to overload people with things to work on. I give them 2 or 3 things to work on. And as they work on those, I'll keep giving them stuff to work on gradually. Let's check it out. Let's watch a video first. Let's watch that again. One thing I love is the finish.
That was better.
Oh no. Watch it one more time. Yes, so the finish is very powerful. You got that down. I mean, you don't have it down, but it's something you do have. That's good. There are a few things I'm going to point out. I also have a video, as you can see, of Gerd Cantor over here to the left. What many would say is one of his most technically beautiful throws. So it's a great video to compare to, and let's get on with it. First thing I'm going to point out is your upper body is opening up a little early. You see that left arm? When this right foot comes off the ground, that left arm's all the way out there. And then you hit a bit of a pause in the middle. It's not bad. I'm not going to worry about the pause right now. Biggest thing, though, is that upper body opening up. And then, on top of that, watch your right leg, your sweep leg. Watch it very closely. It comes up, and then you kind of lead with your knee for a second, and then kick it into the circle. The issue here is the knee leading right here. Let's look at Gerd real quick. He leads with his knee kind of back here and then extends that leg and leads with the inside of his foot. Watch how the inside of his foot is coming in. We look at you, you're kind of leading with your toes. That is one thing we're going to want to work on, as well as check it out, see where you're landing. You're over on the left side of the circle, and then these feet are very wide. That's definitely something we're going to want to work on, is getting the feet tighter. I think tight knees, tight feet. If we watch Gerd, imagine he has a rubber band around his knees. Watch this. That was pretty fast. Boom. And see, instead of this leg just flying way out, he still manages to keep it in tight. That knee is right under him. That's a very powerful, you'd say his groin muscles are working hard to keep the legs together through the middle of the circle. Back to Joe. Another big thing, this is probably the biggest thing, you'll hear me say this 3 billion times to 90% of the athletes. That right foot comes down, and look, we got a heel on the ground. That is not good. And part of this is probably because you're throwing it so far out and then landing on it instead of getting this left foot from point A to point B. So this is tough. I'm going to point out 2 things at the same time. Let's talk about our right foot first. Landing, boom, we got heel coming down the ground. As you guys know, look at that. Foot can't really rotate when your heel's on the ground. You need to stay on the ball of your foot on that right foot. That is the most important thing. I have a video on my page about turning that foot in the middle. For everyone wondering how to do that, I suggest go watch that video. But a big thing is keep your heel off the ground and get that foot to rotate as it lands. You can see as this foot lands, it's not rotating. It just stops. And then he's like, oh, let me get it rotating. And then, boom, it's too late. When you release, that foot is nowhere near where we want it. And as I have mentioned, the foot is not a big deal directly. It is only a big deal because it is an indicator of where the hips are at. And if your foot is turned like that, your hips probably aren't turned towards the left sector line. Let's watch Gerd real quick. I wish I'll find a better quality video on a different video, but you can see his right foot, boom. His right toe and his right knee is pointing down the left sector line, when he releases that disc. Look at Joe. See the difference. This is a pretty simple thing that you'll hear a lot of coaches talk about because it's a very important thing. Every athlete needs to work from the ground up. I'm not worried about the upper body if the lower body is being hindered by something like this. So this is your number one priority, Joe, is to fix that right foot in the middle. The video on my page goes over everything you really need to do. But in the end, you're going to get it from a lot of reps. Do a lot of full throws, plenty of full throws. Work on it during full throws. A lot of people will go and they will master this in drills, and then they'll take it into the circle with the discus, and they're right back where they started. So if you're going to do drills, you need to implement them into full throws too. Do a drill, a full throw, drill, full throw, or throws right after your drills. But don't expect to fix something just by doing drills. In my personal opinion, the best drill for throwing is throwing. The best exercise for throwing is throwing. Keep that in mind. Joe, there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Yes, this leg that's in the air right here, it's slow. You need to get this foot from here to here much faster. Let me show you Gerd, because he's very good at this. He goes from here to here. Boom, 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 boom. A tip I've heard that really helps me out with this is thinking about getting the foot off of the ground sooner. No one really thinks about that. They say, oh, my foot's off the ground, now I go. If you think about pushing the ground so hard that your foot comes off the ground right here, it's going to naturally get to the front of the circle faster. So that's one thing you can think of. Another thing, let's watch Gerd real quick. Where was I going with this? That's something else. Oh yes, the tight knees. As I already mentioned, if you keep your knees tight, oh yeah, here's what I was gonna say. All right, his right foot lands right here. Look at where his left foot is. Look at how far ahead his foot is versus, boom, contact versus your foot. His left foot is already halfway through the circle or more. Yours is just now getting through the circle. Now I could say this is because your left foot is slow, or I could say because your right foot is coming down too early. I'd say it's a little bit of both. And this takes us back to the sweep. You're kind of just kicking the leg into the circle. For your sweep, honestly, it'll come naturally. I'm not going to tell you to mess a bunch of things up. All I am going to say with your sweep is lead with the inside of that foot. You can see your toes are kind of pointing to where you're going versus right here. His toes are pointing into the sector. Your right toes are pointing into the middle of the circle. Let's see what else we have. Honestly, if the finish is not bad, if we had better footwork, that finish would be very good. Not bad for non-reverse too. That left arm, I love it right here. That's amazing. Not hitting the block super hard, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So, Joe, good work. Looking great. You've come a long way. And as for anyone else who's looking for a technical analysis, I'm going to start posting more of these videos. If you want a technical analysis, it comes free and unlimited with the program. If you want more info on the program, I have a pinned post about it on my Instagram page. But simply put, it's a $70 one-time purchase, and you get a full year of training. That's training in the weight room, plyometric training, as well as your training in the circle. You know, each day of the year, you're going to know how many throws am I doing, what weight of discus or shot put am I using? Is it a heavy day, a light day, standard weight day? How many throws am I doing of power throws, half turns, full throw non-reverse, full throw reverse? All of these change throughout the year. You're not going to be doing a bunch of power throws and half turns when you're in the middle of your season. Those are mostly for the off season. And of course, volume changes. You're not going to be doing a bunch of throws every day when you're in the middle of your season. Big volume and drills are for the off season. Blah, blah, blah. If you have questions about it, you can DM me. I'm happy to talk about it. One more thing I will make aware is I'm only offering technical analysis, free technical analysis to the first 100 people who buy it. I'll let you know that there are only about 20 spots left, and then it's going to be an extra charge for future people who purchase it. But if you were the first 100 people who purchase it, you will always have access to this. So good job, Joe. Keep it up. And yeah, thanks for watching.